Andreas Schlüter was a German Baroque sculptor and architect, active in Poland, Berlin and Saint Petersburg. Biography. Andreas Schlüter was born probably in Hamburg. His early life is obscure, as at least 3 different persons of that name are documented. The records of St. Michaelis Church, Hamburg, show that an Andreas Schlüter, son of sculptor Gerhard Schlüter, had been baptized there on the 22nd of May 1664. Documents from Danzig reported that an Andreas Schlüter had worked 1640 to 1652 in Danzig's Job and Gasse Lane. Possibly born in 1640, an Andreas Schlüter is recorded as apprentice on the 9th of May 1656 by the Masons Guild. Other sources state 1659 as year of birth. He probably did spend several years abroad as journeyman. His first work, in 1675, may have been epitaphs of the Dukes Sambor and Mestwin in the dome of Pelplin Monastery. Schlüter's first known work was the decoration of the facade of the Danzig Royal Chapel. In 1681, he later created statues for King John III, Sobieski's Wilanów Palace in Warsaw, and sepulchral sculptures in Olkiel. In 1689, he moved to Warsaw and made the pediment reliefs and sculptural work of Krasinski Palace. Schlüter was invited to Berlin in 1694 by Eberhard von Dankelmann to work as court sculptor at the Armory for Elector Frederick III. His sculpted decorations are a masterpiece of Baroque expression and pathos. While the more visible reliefs on the outside had to praise fighting, the statues of dying warriors in the interior denounced war and gave an indication of his pacifist religious beliefs. Traveling through Italy in 1696, he studied the work of masters like Michelangelo Buonarroti and Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Schlüter also worked as an architect and built many state buildings in Berlin in his role as Hofbaumeister, which he lost when one tower showed signs of a weak fundament. He also served as director of the Akademie der Kunst from 1702 to 1704, after which he began concentrating on sculpting again as Hofbildhauer. His most important equestrian sculpture is that of the great Elector Frederick William of Brandenburg, cast in 1708 and placed at Longebrücke near the Berlin City Palace, now situated in the Honor Court before Charlottenburg Palace. The Berlin City Palace, and many of his works, were partially destroyed by bombing in World War II and by the subsequent communist regime. A similar fate probably befell the Amber Room, made between 1701 and 1709, Schlüter's most famous work of architecture. In 1713, Schlüter's fame brought him to work for Tsar Peter the Great in St. Petersburg, where he died of an illness after creating several designs. Together with Johann Friedrich Braunstein, he designed the Grand Palace and Montplaisir Palace and Peterhof Palace complex. Also the city's oldest building, Kickens Palace, and the reliefs of the Summer Palace are attributed to him. This way he became an important figure of Petrine Baroque. Extant works: Facade of the Royal Chapel, Gdansk, 1681. Sculptures on the facade of Wilanów Palace, Warsaw, after 1681. Sculptures on the pediment of Krasinski Palace, Warsaw, 1682–3, 1689–93. Epitaph of Adam Zygmunt Konarski, St. Mary's Cathedral of the Assumption, Frombork near Gdansk, after 1683. Altar and crucifix in Church Bwigro near Warsaw, 1688–90. Sepulchral sculptures of the Sobieski family, Jova near Lviv, 1692–93. Altar in Czerniaków Church, Warsaw, 1690. Portrait Bishop Jan Malichowski in Worel Cathedral, Krakow 1693. Equestrian statue of Elector Frederick William, courtyard of Charlottenburg Palace, Berlin, 1689–1703, with a copy in the Berlin Bode Museum. Amber Room in the Catherine Palace of Tsarskoye Selo near St. Petersburg, 1701. Pulpit, St. Mary's Church, Berlin, 1703. Sarcophagi of Friedrich I and Sophia Charlotte, King and Queen of Prussia in the Berlin Cathedral,